A cabin in the first snowfall of winter. Imagine being somewhere so quiet that you can hear snow landing, not falling, landing. That soft, almost inaudible tick of flakes settling on a windowsill, on a woodpile, on the sloped roof above your head. Imagine a cabin at the edge of a forest, where the light outside has gone the particular blue-grey of early winter evening, and inside, everything is amber and warm and completely unhurried. There is nowhere you need to be tonight. There is nothing you need to do but listen and breathe and let the season change around you while you rest. Here we go. You arrive at the cabin just as the first snow of the year begins to fall. You've been walking for the better part of an hour, along a path you know well, through trees that have already dropped their leaves and stand now in bare, patient rows. The cold has a clean smell to it, mineral and sharp, the kind of air that seems to reach all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And then, somewhere between one step and the next, you notice it. A flake, landing on the back of your glove. Then, another on your sleeve. You tip your head back and there it is, drifting down out of a sky gone the color of a dove's wing, unhurried, weightless, the first snowfall of the season arriving exactly the way it always does, without announcement. The cabin sits in a clearing ahead of you, small and square and solid, its windows already glowing gold. Smoke rises from the chimney in a thin, steady thread, bending slightly as it climbs, and you find yourself smiling at the sight of it before you've even reached the door. Someone, perhaps you, earlier in the day, in some version of this evening that already happened, laid the fire and left it ready to catch. The porch boards are pale with the first dusting of white, and your boots leave the only prints there, a short trail leading up to the door, already softening at the edges as more snow falls to fill them in. You climb the 2 steps and knock the snow from your boots against the frame, a habit more than a necessity, before pushing the door open into warmth. The inside of the cabin is warm the moment you step through, a relief you feel in your shoulders before you've even noticed it. The wood stove sits against the far wall, its little glass window flickering orange, and the heat from it has filled the whole room evenly, so that even the corners feel touched by it. The air smells of wood smoke and something like cedar, and underneath that faintly, cinnamon, a bundle of dried orange peel and cinnamon sticks, sits in a bowl on the table. You unwind your scarf and shrug off your coat, hanging it on the peg by the door, where it will drip quietly onto the mat while you forget about it entirely. There's a rug in front of the stove, thick and the color of oatmeal, worn soft in the middle from years of feet. You cross to it now, sock-footed, boots left by the door, feeling the floorboards give slightly under your weight, warm in places where the stove's heat has settled into the wood, and you sink into the low armchair, angled just beside it, its cushions deep enough to disappear into. Through the window nearest you, the snow keeps falling, a little heavier now than when you came inside. Not urgent, just steady, flake after flake finding its way down through the dark blue air outside the glass. You can see the edge of the tree line from here, the black shapes of pine branches gradually going white along their tops, each one collecting its share of the night's first snowfall, the way it will collect many more before spring. You get up once, just once, to put the kettle on. The stove in the kitchen corner is small, cast iron, its handle worn smooth, and you fill it from the pump by the sink. The water so cold it makes your fingers ache pleasantly for a moment before you set the kettle down over the heat. While it warms, you find the tin of cocoa on the shelf, the good kind, dark and slightly bitter, and a jar of honey beside it with a wooden dipper still resting inside from the last time it was used. You spoon cocoa into a mug, your favorite one, the blue ceramic one with a chip near the handle that you've never minded. And you wait, listening to the small sounds of the kettle beginning its slow climb toward a whistle. Outside, the snow has started to change the shape of things. The woodpile by the porch, stacked in tidy rows that morning, now wears a soft white cap along its top edge. And the fence posts marking the edge of the clearing are dusted white to match. Even the sound of the forest has changed, and the wind that moved through the bare branches an hour ago has gone quieter, muffled, the way snow does to a landscape, wrapping every sharp edge in something soft. The kettle begins to sing, just barely, a low, warming note before it reaches its full whistle, and you lift it off before it gets there, pouring the water slow and careful into your mug. The cocoa blooms up dark and fragrant. You stir it with the same wooden spoon that's lived in that drawer for years, and you carry the mug back to your chair by the stove, careful of the steam curling up against your chin. You sit, pulling the folded blanket down from the armrest. Deep green, a little scratchy in the nicest way, the kind of wool that means business against the cold, and settle it over your knees. The mug warms both your palms at once, if you hold it right, and you do, wrapping your fingers around the ceramic and feeling the heat travel up into your wrists. For a long while, you simply watch the fire. It doesn't need tending yet. The logs are burning slow and even, the kind of fire that was built by someone who knows how to build one. And so you let your eyes rest on the small blue flames that lick along the edges of the orange, and the way sparks occasionally lift and vanish behind the little glass door. The room ticks and settles around you, the particular sound of a wood stove working, boards contracting somewhere in the walls as the temperature evens out. Every so often, you glance toward the window. The snow is coming steadily now, thick enough that the tree line has softened into something hazier, a suggestion of forest rather than a clear edge. You imagine the animals somewhere out there, finding their shelter for the night. A fox curling into a hollow beneath a fallen log. An owl settled high in the branches with snow gathering harmlessly along its folded wings, patient and unbothered. The whole forest is going quiet together, each creature finding its own version of what you have found here. Warmth, stillness, a place to wait out the first snow of winter. You finish the cocoa slowly, in no rush at all, and when the mug is empty, you don't move to refill it. Instead, you let your head rest back against the chair, the blanket heavy and warm across your legs. Your sock feet stretched out toward the stove's gentle heat. Your eyelids feel heavier now, pulled down by the warmth and the low crackle of the fire and the sight of snow falling steadily beyond the glass. There's a shelf of books near the window, spines soft with age, and on another evening you might reach for one. Tonight, you don't need to. The story outside the window is enough. Snow filling in the last of your footprints on the porch, the woodpile disappearing slowly under white, the whole clearing turning flake by flake into the hush of full winter. You could get up and add another log, or cross to the window and press your palm briefly against the cold glass, just to feel the difference between that cold and the warmth at your back. But you don't need to do either one right now. The fire will keep, and the snow will keep falling whether you watch it or not. And you, wrapped in wool, warm from the cocoa, sinking further into the chair with every slow breath, can simply stay right where you are. Somewhere outside, the last grey light fades from the sky entirely, and the clearing around the cabin goes fully dark, except for the gold glow spilling from your window onto the snow. Anyone passing, though no one will, not tonight, would see that small square of light in the trees and know that someone, somewhere, was warm. That someone is you. Your breathing has slowed to match the quiet tick of snow against the glass. The blanket has gone warm all the way through now, holding the stove's heat and your own together. The mug sits empty and forgotten on the little table at your elbow. And the first snowfall of winter keeps coming down outside, soft and endless, covering everything it touches. You stay by the fire and let your eyes close. The snow keeps falling, and you are already half asleep. If you're still here with me, I hope you can feel that stove warmth settling into your own shoulders now. Wherever you are, let the rest of your evening be as unhurried as that cabin in the trees. The snow will still be falling long after you've drifted off, and that's exactly as it should be. I'll be here next time with another quiet place for you to rest. Good night.